Welcome to my presentation. I am Amber Snyder. I will be talking about what is counseling and the types of counseling. I will also be talking about the skills you need to become a counselor. I hope you enjoy my presentation. What is counseling? A counselor is a trained professional who works with people who wants to change the way they think, feel, or behave. The process that occurs when a client and counselor set aside time in order to explore difficulties that may include stressful or emotional feelings. Counseling is a relationship of trust. They may be required by law to disclose information if they believe the person is a risk to themselves or someone. Traditional routes to getting a license for counseling. Counselors typically earn a master's degree in whatever area of counseling they would like. It could be clinical mental health, clinical rehab counseling, Masters of Arts in counseling. It could even be a trauma or crisis counseling. What counseling is not. It is important for a counselor to not give advice. It is their role to present their patient with better tools to comprehend what causes to think the way they do. By giving tools, it guides their patient to make their own decisions. A counselor's room is the one place a person can get away from judgment. Also helps a person open up about what's going on without having the feeling or being judged, eases the tension. A counselor is not there to sort out the problems. They are there to help you figure out how to figure out the causes of your motives and give you tools to guide you to make your own decisions. Lastly, but not least, don't get emotionally involved. A counselor has to maintain a professional but caring level between the patient and themselves. Forms of counseling. Marriage and family counseling helps people work on their relationships. Counselors also offer guidance to couples and families who are dealing with issues that affect their well-being of the whole family. Guidance and career counselors is designed to assist a person in making and applying educational and professional choices. The program is to help develop the person's skills in self-knowledge, educational and professional assessment, and career planning. Rehabilitation counseling focuses on helping people with disabilities achieve their goals, whether it be in their career, independent living, or personal life. Mental health counselors are available to people in need of emotional and/or psychological support. Mental health counselors help their clients learn how to make healthy decisions about themselves, relationships, or their futures. Substance abuse counselors is designed to support people with drug, alcohol addiction, eating disorders, and other behavioral issues. Most individuals who seek a career in substance abuse are compassionate and patient problem solvers. Educational counselors is where a school counselor would fall under. Educational counselors focus on the busy lives of children, teens, young adults, changing lives. Their main mission is to help students navigate through their developing years with confidence. Skills. Now that we talked about what types of counseling there is, let's talk about what skills you need to become a counselor. Nonverbal skills. Review files before the patient comes in for an appointment. Make sure you get to know them, what their name is, and any specific dates that they mentioned beforehand. Get organized. Make sure you are organized before the appointment. Have your pen and paper ready. Develop a plan. If you need to have a separate room for the appointment or something special for the appointment. Self-exploration. Make yourself aware. Are you nervous? Ask yourself questions you could improve on. By doing this, we can better prepare ourselves beforehand. Encourager is making sure you are making eye contact, nodding when appropriate, letting the client know you are letting them know you are present as they speak. Listening is the biggest one of them all. Why I separate this from encourager was because someone can be making eye contact and still not listen. To be a counselor, you need to really listen to someone. Lastly, have empathy. Without empathy, you will seem cold to your client who is sharing something hard for them. More skills. Verbal skills. Informed consent. Always let your client know their rights at the beginning of their visit before you start. Review agency policies. Is letting your client know that if they let you know they are going to hurt themselves or anyone else, it is your legal obligation to inform authorities. Reflection of consent means reflecting back on what the client just said. It allows the person to hear what was said and think about it. Reflection of feeling is saying what they just said but putting it into feeling that the client may be feeling. Helps them identify how they really feel at the moment. Self-disclosure is using to get a client's trust. Counselors use this skill to share with their client something personal about themselves to get their client to trust and motivate their client. Questioning. Now there are two types, closed and open. Closed is usually questions that require a yes and no answer, or direct answer. Open usually question that is more in-depth where it requires a person to answer more in-depth and it flows easily. Clarifying role and purpose is when the counselor repeats what the client just said to make sure it was what they just said. Seeking feedback is when the counselor asks the client for their feedback on what happened during the session or what they had just talked about. The counselor is looking for their thoughts and feelings. Lastly, summarizing is when the counselor gives a verbal summary of what was all gone over in the session to let the client think about all that was completed.